Ever since Rick could speak, he doubted the existence of Santa Claus. We tried everything to convince him. Every time we would read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" to him before bedtime, he would just shake his head and scoff at us. We even made him watch Miracle on 34th Street for 24 straight hours. Didn't help.
Give me a break. Are you telling me a fat white guy has elves and makes millions of presents and delivers all of them from the North Pole in one night? Yeah, right, and I can play shortstop for the Cubs. Well, maybe.
There was only one way to finally convince Rick. We decided to visit the North Pole on our summer vacation this year. So we packed our bags and began our journey to see the magic of Christmas with our own eyes. Our journey to see Santa began with a train ride on the famous North Pole Express. Our travel agent didn't give us an itinerary. She just told us to board the train and we would find our way to the North Pole. I know this may be hard to believe, but after only a few minutes on the North Pole Express, we were somehow magically transported to an area with the most beautiful snow-packed mountains in the distance. The train dropped us off in an area that was green and lush, but we had a hunch that if there was a North Pole, it was somewhere in those beautiful mountains.
When we left the train, a team of dogs and a sled with Petricca written on the side were waiting for us.
When Dad said we would have to take a dog sled part of the way after we left the train, we all just laughed at him. Sure enough, we boarded a dog sled customized for summer and off we went. It was pretty cool.
At the end of the trail, our dog team delivered us to the mouth of a river. A little man greeted us at the dock and invited us to board his airboat, so we did. Our little captain was very quiet and, well, he had pointy ears. I pointed this out to the kids, but they just laughed at me.
Dad thought the captain was an elf. He has a pretty strange imagination.
Yeah, but remember when he thought that our mailman was in the witness protection program?
He does wear expensive Italian shoes when he delivers the mail, and I think he has a gun.
This one just flipped over.
The weirdest part of the trip was easily the plane ride. We're on there, all of a sudden some voice comes over the intercom telling us to jump out of the plane. So we go down to the pilot to tell him what's up. We didn't find anyone there. So, between the time warp train ride, the dog sled ride, and the elf boat captain, we started thinking we'd eaten some tainted reindeer meat. But when we heard the voice tell us to jump out again, we all did, without any parachutes.
Here's where it gets interesting. Miraculously, we all landed without a scratch. We found ourselves in a beautiful remote area without a clue where we were or how we would find the North Pole. We decided to hike toward the mountains that were so close we felt like we could touch them. Paul's elf boat captain gave us each a backpack filled with food and water, and off we went. We didn't know where we were going, but we all felt a strange excitement, even Rick. I know this sounds crazy, but a reindeer, was sent to meet us and guide us to, well, you know. At first, we just stood there in amazement. Was this deer Rudolph? And was he leading us to his boss, Santa? As we followed Rudolph, we met the rest of Santa's reindeers along the way. They were all lined up to welcome us. I think this is when we all knew that something special was about to happen to us.
Rudolph seemed pretty depressed. Comet told me Clarice had just broken up with him.
Donner's the man. The stories he told us were amazing. He's a playa.
Alright, we got Dancer, Prancer, Nixon, Blixen, Stupid, and Cupid. I mean, who comes up with this?
We made it. Rudolph led us into a town that looked like any small town in America except for some obvious differences.
It's the North Pole. Get it? What the?
Our journey ended at the house that we hoped existed, but had no tangible proof, until today. It was decorated exactly the way we thought it would be, a lot of red and green and bling. Listen carefully so you can hear the excitement in the voices of the kids.
This is disturbing. This is disturbing. This is disturbing. Oh, this is Santa. This is Claus. This is Claus. This is Claus. I really don't feel comfortable being here. I really don't feel comfortable being here. I really don't feel comfortable being here.
And of course, the letters to Santa.
I must admit, the wall with all the letters got to me, especially when I saw one of mine from 1994.
I don't know what to say. I was wrong all these years. It was pretty cheesy, but pretty cool. I believe.
Put it on.
Our trip to the North Pole was a success. Rick finally understood the magic of Christmas, and we all were reminded how fun it can be to believe.
Merry Christmas and welcome to Santa's house.
Thanks.